What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sailor Turn Gamer, and we are back in the building coming at you with another Dauntless video. We're gonna have a couple videos coming out today, and first up on that list, we are talking about the Hunt Pass update, specifically the patch notes for this Hunt Pass. Of course, if you guys are playing, you know that we're in the season of Aetherpunk, and with that, we do have a new patch note sets that came out for the update for the latest version of the game. So like I said, guys, today we're just going to be talking about that. I'm going to have some gameplay in the back of Escalation using pretty much my staple build. If you guys are curious about that, let me know in the comment section below, and maybe I can release a build video on my staple build. It's pretty much the build that I've been using for months, so it's pretty much my favorite build. And if you guys want to try it out one day, just let me know in the comment section. But moving on, again, the purpose of the video is to talk about update 1.1.3. So that's what we're talking about. Enjoy the gameplay in the back, and over that I'm gonna have pop-ups of parts of the update, so feel free to pause the video if you want to read everything to your liking, but I'll have pop-ups talking about the certain sections of the patch notes. Now let's get into the video. Aetherpunk is pretty much the new update like I talked about, and it's here. And with it, of course, we got a whole fresh new update for the Hunt Pass, but there's a lot of other things that are new to Dauntless as well, right? First, we have the ability to purchase supplies with rams that's now here, so it's pretty cool. You can now use another method for your currency in order to get some cool stuff. So you got your tonics and your grenades. If you speak to those certain people, you got Marcus and then you got the Admiral. If you speak to those guys, you're going to see that option to be able to purchase some of those same things but with RAM, so that's pretty cool as well. Now you get share credit towards objectives. That's a new thing as well. No more competing for the last hit. From now on, all slayers in the party will get credit towards their bounties and mastery objectives. When anyone in the party interrupts an attack, breaks apart, staggers a behemoth, or exposes a wound, well, one for all and all for one, that goes for the whole team. That's a really good new change, because again, this game is all about teamwork, and so with the power of teamwork, you're going to be able to complete your mastery levels at a much higher rate. So that is fantastic in itself. A couple of things that we got new coming to the game as well is the ability to view your Hunt Pass progress on the bounty screen. Now you can see how close you are to the next Hunt Pass level without actually leaving the bounty screen. So that's just like a nice little visual change as well. No need to be going back to that screen, especially if you're going to be on your bounty screen quite often. Also, something that's new as well is the ability to express yourself with quick emojis. Emojis are now something that you can use in the communication wheel, and you guys are going to start seeing those in the bottom left hand corner in the chat as well, so that's pretty cool. And for you Portuguese players out there, last but not least, one of the newer changes is the ability to now have that particular language on Switch. That's pretty cool, I think. I mean, that's a nice little change to have in the game, so shout out to that. I'm super excited for you Portuguese players out there. Right now, I'm not going to cover everything in the patch note because it's a pretty extensive, and I'm going to be leaving in the description below a link to the patch notes that you guys can check out. Now, I do want to talk about some of the gameplay changes that have came up as well. So that's something that I'm going to cover, right? So you have the Warpike. It previously had some thresholds for the quality of ammo. It would generate based off the special meter. Those thresholds have been removed, so the more meter means the better quality ammo, anywhere between 1 to 100%. So that's pretty cool as well. Riftstalker can now show up in Escalation, and I actually got some of that Escalation gameplay as well, so that was pretty cool to see. But don't worry, he won't pull you into the mortar place if the other behemoth is alive. So the simple strategy for defeating Riftstalker is to just kill him first when you're in a group. That's all you have to do, and you don't have to worry about the annoying dark place. Keep that in mind. Shroud's Tail, I know that's been kind of like a topic of discussion recently. His hitbox has been actually increased and repositioned, and his physics have been fine-tuned to make that a lot better. It's going to bring it closer to the ground and make it easier to be targeted and broken, so that way everyone can get their Shroud armor to maximum rank level of 15. Also, wounded status is something that has changed as well. So that is something that I definitely want to discuss with you guys. Some of the status effects, like on fire, for example, that doesn't really need an explanation. But wounded, not so much. Phoenix Labs really hasn't done a great job at explaining something like wounded as far as what that would do. It would cause your damage to be exhausted if your stamina bar is low. A little, But really what that means is while you're wounded, incoming damage is going to be increased to 150%, which is, that's crazy. And your stamina consumption is increased to 200%. So that's a lot. The counterplay to On Fire and Frozen is to spam dodge roll. But when you're wounded, that's now going to force you to both avoid taking damage and be much more cautious about how and when you dodge. So keep that in mind. There are some serious changes to wounded. Wounded is still cleared the same way as before by healing and things like life steal and stuff like that. Or you can just stand still for 5 seconds. So that is an easy way to get rid of it. But keep that in mind. If you are wounded, watch out, because it is a doozy. Also, Carback Swarm is something that's been addressed as well. Previously, Carback Swarm was on a player. The bugs would randomly interrupt attack animations. It wasn't really clear as far as like how those attacks went through, or if they were blocked, or really how this whole thing worked. It kind of just gave a feeling of randomness to the whole effect. So that's been removed, and it's been replaced with something that feels a little bit more consistent. So now the swarm is going to prevent you from sprinting, and it's still going to apply a small amount of damage over time. So that is a little bit more consistent as far as determining how the swarm is actually going to work. There are several quality of life changes as well, and I'm not going to really talk about them in the video, but I am going to have them going over the gameplay. So again, guys, feel free to pause the video if you want to read every single quality of life change that existed, as well as some performance changes and bug fixes as well. I'm going to have those going over the screen for a few seconds as well. Those bug fixes are going to range from general bug fixes all the way up to things that happened in the hunt, as well as some escalation fixes. So keep that in mind. You can pause that and check it out if you want. Some known issues that they know about, and I'm sure will be fixed in 1.1.4, is Stoneheart Repeater Prism. That right now has no power, but again, that's going to be addressed in the next patch right after this current patch. Also, if there are any other changes outside of what I talked about in this current patch note for 1.1.3, I will release a secondary video talking about that if it's a massive amount of changes. If it's a minimal amount of changes, be sure to check the comment section below, and then I will pin that information down below, as well as update that link that will be in the description box below. If you made it this far in the video, please be sure to give the video a like and a share, and join the fleet by hitting that sub button and be a part of this fantastic community. Anybody made it this far, I really appreciate it. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.